to Sisterhood.
Yay!
Your brand new weekly magazine show coming to you from Trinidad and Tobago.
Daniela here, and I would like to invite you to join us as we come together every week to bring you some inspiration, information, insights mixed with lots of fun.
The intention of Sisterhood is to create a safe place where we can come together and share and learn and explore some of the issues, unique issues women face, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but the Caribbean.
That's right. It is time for us to get ready to communicate and educate each other as we discover new ways to thrive in today's world.
Hi everyone, I'm Dianne Hunt. Happy to be with these ladies in the Sisterhood this week, where we will also give you pulse of our people, opinions from some people that matter, and our inspirational and motivational segment, Words from the Wise.
Mm-hmm. We also have self-centered in the health, beauty and fitness segment. So, much more revelations to come all when the Sisterhood returns.
Welcome back. Thanks very much for staying with us. First, I want to welcome our guest co-host, Miss Dianne Hunt. A woman who has had a long history of innovative and creative endeavors and who has so graciously allowed us the use of Dianne's tea shop to take the Sisterhood show. A perfect demonstration of sisters supporting sisters.
Hey.
Thank you, Dianne.
Also for kindly agreeing to join us on today's show. Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure. You're very welcome, ladies. It is my pleasure and an honor to really have all of you all here in this room together.
Yeah.
And for me, this is where it all happens, when the conversation begins and we back it up with some action.
Yes.
I think we can actually make some changes and we can do some positive things.
Great.
Yeah, make a difference.
Great. That's what the Sisterhood is about.
Yeah.
Making positive changes. Well, thank you again, sweetie. Thank you for this place. It's wonderful. Wonderful place. So we start off Sisterhood with our segment called So I Was Minding My Own Business When you fill in the rest. Right.
Great. I can't wait to tell you all this one. So I was minding my own business when I saw this little girl in Shogunas traveling. And she was in primary school. The school bag on this child was bigger than her own. Guys, that's not normal. Her back was hunched over. And it was just really disturbing to see. You know, what are we going to do?
I mean, the Ministry of Education, I know they were looking into that.
Into it.
So
Yeah.
definitely, so let's hope that happens quickly.
Because it's been years we complaining about
it.
this. When my daughter was smaller, we got trolley bags.
Yes.
So you can try different
maybe
things.
that's it.
Okay, my turn. I was minding my business when I was reading the papers and I saw this pothole and this old man fell in this pothole. And it's just on the side of the street, he fell in and they took him out, people were there and they took him out. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, we take this thing for granted. And they had fixed the potholes, I know, in the streets for Port of Spain, for Carnival.
Yes, they did.
All potholes were fixed and there were no accidents. But I just wonder what our government and the city council to be mindful, you know, because this old man, probably, I didn't know what happened to him. So that was my mind in my business.
Don't fall in potholes. Be careful.
Yeah,
watch
'cause
out
they're
for
really big.
potholes.
Yes. You could actually put
And if we
fence in
sue the
there.
government, then you know, they don't want to go there. Right?
So, my turn. I was minding my own business, and you know, one of the things I always concerned about is seeing senior citizens travel, like use public transportation. And so I was traveling, and this elderly lady, she was trying to come into the maxi, and this young man, and I thought it was so nice to see this young man actually got up and helped her to get into the maxi, and he had make sure that everything was okay. He took her bags, and I was like, you know what, we don't see this on the news, and these are things that we should see, because we always see young person and we see it in a negative way. But there's so many about young persons, so many about young men are doing well and doing good.
This is what we like to see.
Dianne, you mind your business. You're a woman.
I was real minding my business, and then all of a sudden I find myself on this show.
That's a good one.
But we're glad that your business became our business.
That's mine.
Yours.
Okay. I was minding my own business when I realized a lot of the traffic on Ryston Road it's caused by these big trucks that can carry the oil and the gas and the whatnot.
Right.
And
Yeah.
whatnot. If they have certain hours for these trucks, I think it will help alleviate the pressure
Yes.
I
on
find,
the
especially those big containers.
I would suggest they get one lane.
Yes.
No, but the port is right located along
know.
that area, so how are they going to
But
do
have
that?
specific hours.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think
So-
that's a good solution.
I don't know how to expand.
Cecilia, you mind your business and what
All
happened?
right, yes. Well, I was minding my own business because I'm very thrifty, ladies. And I went to a grocery, Westby supermarket, and they had ice cream, buy one, get one free on Friday. So next time I'll call you all. Because that's what we have to do now. We have to always be looking for deals.
Yes.
You all do this? I shop certain places, certain days.
Well,
You go when you
to
have a
have
deal.
something like
Yes.
And well, they have extra
Yes,
points.
all the supermarkets they have
All
Yes.
the
they have their idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I have
ladies,
a card, a membership.
we have to suffer a quick commercial break. We're going to mind our business while you mind yours. When we return, we're going to explore the scourge of violence that has gripped our beautiful country. Not nice, not nice. Every day in the paper. Welcome back. Now, I think if it's one thing we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, can all agree on, is that the state of crime and violence in our sweet Trinidad and Tobago is way out of hand.
Yes, for sure.
I read the headlines and see the videos and I cannot recognize my people. I see these vicious acts and it feels so hopeless.
Yes. The gang violence has also killed hundreds, dare I say thousands of our young Trinbagonian men. And there seems to be no end in sight, right? Because if one shoots, then the next gang coming back for you, retribution.
What is it that a gang provides? It provides security for these young men.
Is the
What-
family
what
they
is it?
don't have? Is the family they don't
exactly.
have? Because
So
the
you-
unit, the family that is failing now.
Yeah.
So they turn to
And
the
does that
boys.
also give them some manliness because they're in this
Yeah,
street with
because
the
they-
men?
egoistic.
False
Yeah.
sense
A
of
false
sense
sense
of power,
exactly.
I think the parents really have to look at children now and then and really bring them back and tell the children you love them over and over and over.
But if the parents don't know, how can
Yeah.
they reciprocate?
Yeah.
I guess some of the parents know.
Yeah.
Do you all know that play that the late Godfrey Seeley wrote many years ago? One of our sons is missing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right, well.
His play dealt with the impact of AIDS and the loss of so many people with great potential. I feel the same way about our gang violence. Our sons are missing. So many of these young men who, if grew up in different circumstances and did not take the path they took, could have been our next prime minister, great businessmen, software developers, our innovators,
Of
the ones
course.
who change our landscape.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, and all these men and the fellas that die and they're leaving children, you know.
Exactly.
They're leaving children, they're leaving fatherless children out there
Just
now.
to continue the
It's a
cycle
cycle.
of
I tell you.
being
But you know what I want to say though? We are 1.3 population. In the scheme of things, that is not a big
Of
number
course,
to
it
deal
should
with.
not
So
be.
we could solve this problem, and I believe it just requires good, unified force and a vision as to what we want to achieve. And this
Vision.
way, a vision. We need to work together, and we need to volunteer, and we need to stick together
And
to
push-
accomplish it.
push
'Cause this
love.
Is, this
I
is
agree.
our country.
Yes, we
The
each have
major
to
fact
make a
is,
difference.
do we care about the men who are getting killed? Do we care? I saw a mother last week in the papers I was reading,
Yeah.
and she was saying that her criminal son, she was happy that her criminal son was dead. And I know for a mother to say that, that boy must have brought untold level of pain and anguish to her on a daily basis. I mean, I read in the papers where they said that her son put her out of her own home.
So I read that.
And he
What
started
a-
beating as a
beaten her.
teenager.
Yeah.
Wow. And I remember I made a comment on Facebook. From the first time that boy did that to that mother, the mother should have gone and reported.
Yes.
Because if he's doing that to her, his own mother,
Exactly.
what about us?
But what if she did report it? Because we have a lot of
Well, you know,
situations
there's
where
that.
they
Yes.
report it and nothing
Yeah.
Right.
happened.
And
Right.
abuse keeps going on,
Yeah.
right? Crime on individuals at their homes, in their businesses. What about a guy who was dropping his girlfriend home and these guys just jumped out of nowhere and stole everything from them, including the car? They just stood there shocked and
Yeah.
hopeless, people.
Well, they
Sad is
caught
that.
those
They do it
guys.
now.
Thank
Oh,
God for
thank
that.
goodness, did they?
They caught those guys. The sad fact for us is that the criminals and the crime is everywhere.
Right.
Every nook and cranny of this country.
Everybody
Yes.
you talk to.
We can't even go out properly now.
Oh, yes.
Without,
It's
oh my
fair.
God, what to do, what to do. And I've been advocating the legalization of mace, pepper spray, and taser gun for women. Well,
there's bacon.
for everybody, and bacon.
bacon,
But I can't walk with a big kind of bacon in my purse. I thought about bacon,
Wait, bacon is legal?
No, but they have a the small size, because they
But
can't.
Travel
if
size.
you're going out,
We need a travel size of it. Anyway, however, a lot of times friends and family are gaining from these criminal activities.
That's
eh?
true, yes.
Hello, granny gets a big screen TV from her grandson that is not working a place.
Yeah.
And when he brings this TV home, you think she's sending him away? Get out of my house with that TV. No. She might feel the boy risk his life to show her how much she loves her. And just like that, the boy is encouraged to continue with the madness.
Exactly. Sometimes tough love is what
course,
you have to
exactly.
practice.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, it was like that, you know.
Yeah.
Now everything has changed.
Do you know what it boils down to? Integrity.
Yeah.
Because when we teach our children to
Do
speak
the right
truth,
thing. That's
speak the
right.
truth.
Yeah.
That's where it all starts.
Of
Because
course.
when you start understanding what truth is, you're not gonna go and steal and you can't lie.
Yeah.
You're right.
But people
It's
can't.
it's
people can't-
ingrained in you.
But
They
my
can't-
thing
they
about-
can't teach what they don't know.
It's
so
about
sometimes
religion.
again,
It's about your
Morals.
spirituality. I remember when we were younger, Sunday school was a must.
Yes.
Sunday school, even though if your parents didn't teach you those things, the pastor in the church might teach you those things, or your teacher might teach you those things, because you know there was a
Community
village that
of
raised the
family.
child.
But to tell it how
You know, but
different-
nowadays nobody taking charge
Well,
anymore.
we know Sunday school as pastor.
Yeah.
Sunday school as pastor.
Yes,
I went to normal
Sometimes
Sunday
changing.
school.
Children are being educated on the internet, and that is what the problem is.
Yeah. Well, parts of the problem. yeah.
Children are
Parts of
raising
the problem.
children.
Yeah, exactly.
Children are raising children.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if they don't know,
Exactly. I think it's a whole shift of mentality. That's what's happening here.
I mean,
and it can't, and it's
exactly,
being
yeah. I
passed
don't-
yeah,
down
so they don't-
generation to generation.
I got pregnant very young.
Yes.
I was a child who was raising
That's
a child, but
right.
thank God my mother was there, so it was. You
that
know,
is
Yeah.
the
so I don't
support.
understand what is going on with the grandmothers.
Come on.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's another aspect too as well that people do buy, and many people buy stolen goods. As
To
you're
save
talking
a
about, so
dollar.
they save a
Yes.
dollar, yes. And so sometimes they buy it knowingly and sometimes unknowingly. But I mean, unless we put a stop to supporting these thieves and criminals among us, young men seem to think, they seem to think that it's a legitimate way of making money and a
course.
living. And it's, imagine a young man feels so much better to rob, steal, and even kill.
Yes,
Than
that's
to
rants.
go, and than to go and just do an honest work, honest day work for honest pay.
I don't understand these criminals. Why am I going to do something that I have to be looking over my back all the time?
Yeah.
I don't want to live a life where I cannot look outside and see greenery and see the pooey blooming. I don't want to live a life
But
where I have to
nobody
be
thinks
hiding
they're
and
gonna
hiding
get,
and
no one
hiding.
thinks that they're going to get caught.
Well, no, that's another problem because our judiciary, I
Yeah.
think, is
no one sometimes think they get caught.
need addressing
and
badly.
The next thing, that's what they're accustomed to. That's in life.
Life,
That's all they
exactly.
know.
Sometimes
So
they're also
it's
forced
second
into the
nature.
point of where they
Yes.
live.
Yeah.
When they reach a certain age, they get forced into being part of a gang, or they, and then if not, then they get chastised or any,
Yeah.
for not
Yeah.
being part of it.
People are
so.
simply frustrated. Sometimes, as hard as it is, some people, they don't want to involve themselves in this kind of thing. But they feel like there's no other option and there's no other way out. I've also heard young men say, well, because of how I look and where I live, no one wants to hire me. So they have no choice but to turn to crime.
And that's a real factor that I know a lot of young fellas dealing with now. Eh?
Yeah. And it's real.
Yeah, and
it's
they
a
have
real
no,
thing.
and then they will just go and join a gang because they can't get jobs or they can't get work. And I don't understand.
But you
that.
know
Why is
something, though?
that?
I wonder if that is an excuse. Because, if someone shows up and they are genuine about wanting to do a job and wanting to work hard, I employ people.
Yeah.
You can tell.
You can
But a
tell.
lot of people say they want to work and
Of
they
course,
don't
of
really
course.
want
Yes.
to work.
No, no,
Exactly.
So if you are genuine and you show up, you are the
And you-
one that has to make that
Yeah.
difference. You
Yeah.
can't say I want a job, but you show up and you come to work late, you're lazy, you're not really doing anything.
And look at that young boy they had on the papers the other day, one who was selling pimentos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
decided
come
he
on,
was
that
energetic
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was positive and
Yes.
he was making
Yeah.
honest stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact is that we see crime as a career path in this small 1.3 billion people nation. It is a sad situation for us to be in, and the small impact the police and the government have been able to make, it surely indicates that we are not addressing the problem in an effort to solve it. Someone is gaining from all this lawlessness.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There are so many questions this situation brings up for us as a people. questions like how we live with each other, how do we love our children? When the parents fail the children, who can that child turn to? Some of the crimes we're seeing being inflicted on people at every stage of society is alarming. It is, it is so alarming.
That
but-
library situation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm asking myself, are we shocked to the point where now we're getting numb to this? We're hearing about the most gruesome crimes, and as a way of containing ourselves and retaining our sanity, we try to get on with our life and try to make ourselves happy and almost pretend that this didn't happen.
So we're all ostriches.
Yes, we're all ostriches.
So then nothing will
Exactly. And that is the scary part, because we can't
deal. We don't know how.
I wish that the Ministry of Security and the police would come out at least once a month or twice when these things happen. Make up statement. Mama guide the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Bring out more police.
Go down in the area.
Go down, do things.
I don't want to say
I know,
but get into gear and
but
do
we
the
have
job.
to do something. I need to hear them talking on the news.
Yes.
I need to hear them saying that we are going to attack this situation. I need to hear. I don't hear it, and I'm feeling lost as a Trinidad, and I'm not going to leave this country for nothing. But I'm feeling lost. I'm feeling numb. People trying to nobody want to march anymore. They had a march in Arima Saturday. I don't think a lot of people came out.
Because people are tired.
People
How
are
many
tired.
marches we've had? How many white t-shirts, red t-shirts, black t-shirts?
But we need to do our part at home as well. I mean, parents, please sit down, talk to your children when they come home, ask them how the day was, what they involved in, show some interest, and maybe the
And
situation
you know what?
might like
We have a
little
female
bit.
president, and maybe
Yes.
her words
Yes.
will inspire and motivate
That's right.
us as a country,
Yeah.
and mothers
Bring
and
out
sisters
something on
and
you.
daughters
Come on.
be motivated into action.
Yes.
I hope at least something positive will come from
Time
it.
for action.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
people.
time for
Yes, we talk
action.
plenty. We talk plenty.
Wow, so many things to talk about
Yes.
and consider, so many issues and solutions. So many things, and we're going to come right back and deal with it when the sisterhood returns.
Yeah. So many.
A simple thing like just
The crime and violence situation has been so prevalent in our nation, and it has affected so many. Let's go to the pulse of our people, a segment where we speak to people on the street and get their thoughts and opinions.
The breakdown in society goes so far back, and I will say we need some more social workers. When a child is not in school, we need to know where they are, what the parent is doing. If the child is not capable of being placed into that formal education system, that you have to sit in a classroom and do this, create something for where they could be. Because as the old people say, the devil always has with 5 hands. And that is just the tip of the iceberg.
Females especially is real sad. It's a sad thing, And when I am on my way out, and yet I have my 2 young granddaughters coming up to face the whole situation, which I think will get worse and worse. It's not getting any better. And as for ladies, I find the police said them should do a more better job than when you're going to make a report about abuse. There's nothing being done until when you end up dead.
So the issues that lead to criminal activities are definitely poverty, education, and we also looked at contributing factors such as single parent backgrounds, because we can't really say that all persons who are from low income backgrounds, along with single parent backgrounds, do engage in criminal activities. Because a child grows up or is socialized in an environment of poverty or low economic background, or perhaps a single parent background, essentially means that they are going to engage in a negative activity or a criminal or gang related activity.
You are a children here today and they're gone tomorrow. It does affect, especially family, it does affect them real bad. You see, people wouldn't understand until, they get into it. Because I lost my 2 sons and my 3 nephews, so I know, how it is feel, what it is about. And it's not a nice feeling. As I said before, it's not stopping. Because these youths, half of them in themselves passing 20 years old. You understand? Like they ain't listening. You understand? Half of them will get with his friends, the was friends. Beverly Hills boy in Despas, the Crescent boy. You understand? So it wouldn't stop. It wouldn't stop at all. If the government could do anything about it, I believe not. Because it's all kind of thing. It's all kind of little programs. And these children like the just, these bad boys. So they didn't want to stop. Well, them didn't care at all, because if they care, the family did say, well, yes, my brother get licked down already. Look how my mother feels. She ain't coping, she ain't doing good. Look, let me take heed and go and join a program, let me behave myself. But sometimes one or two we children go say that, and then the next side them ain't thinking, because when them cooling it, the next side still hot. So it didn't make no sense.
The crimes that are happening in Trinidad and Tobago, in fact all over the world, stems from problems with human beings not understanding themselves. Number one, are we really mature? And when I say mature, it doesn't have to be physically mature only. It has to be mentally mature, spiritually mature, financially mature. And when folks find themselves in difficulties because of lack of maturity, they more or less lean to the most cultured or recognized way of expressing themselves, and that is lashing out, showing violence to one another, and not recognizing it solves no problems. Right? It is just hurting others and might even get yourselves into more problems. So how do we solve this problem? Number one, in my opinion, you must have a foundation. You must know who you are. And the only way you can know who you are, you must have your spiritual aspect of your life mature, so that you can have a love for yourself first. And once you have love for yourself, you can be able to express love to others. Violence is never the answer. It can never work. It just creates more problems, as we can see.
Right, nice. Those were some good comments out there, and the young man has some good, good valid points, really. Yeah. But that we had to touch on the woman views and about that being in a relationship and not being able to come out, and the fear. Yeah. I mean, a lot of our sisters out there are going through this right now. I mean, they're looking at TV and they're shaking their head and they understand what's going on.
Yeah. Women getting into relationships and staying in abusive relationships. Sometimes, you said about dependency. Do you think that there's a view that women in our society are afraid to be without a partner? For instance, our president. I mean, she's been questioned because she's a single woman.
She's a single mother.
I mean, she is educated. She has risen to the
She's achieved so much. Why do we feel that she needs to have a man at her side to make her wish?
Correct.
So anyway, ladies, we have to go. Sorry, we have to go to a commercial break. When we start to talk. Yes. We will return. We will explore some possible solutions that can help us move our nation towards less violence. We'll be right back. These are points that we will.
Sisterhood! Yeah! A brand new series where we address some of the issues facing not only women, but our country. Today's topic, a heavy one, violence, and the many ways in which it is affecting how we live, how we love, and grow as a society.
We have heard and seen so many horror stories of violent and criminal behaviors. We also heard the comments from the pulse of our people. But our team here has found some interesting perspectives for us to consider as we look for ways to address our growing violent society. One of the points to put our situation into perspective is that violent behavior is not only happening in Trinidad and Tobago. The human race itself, over the many years of existence, has had many instances of violent behaviors like enough wars and
Yes.
riots and genocide and slavery and etc.
True.
Violence is a part of who we are as human beings.
And however, do you know that researchers found out that the human race is much more compassionate and caring for each other than violent to each other?
Wow.
Yes,
You're
true.
not showing
Our
it.
tendency for kindness, compassion, and care is far more common to the human species than our tendency to lash out.
Wow.
Well,
That's
that's
what
a
it
relief.
We were
Could
born
you
to do
imagine if it
good.
was
We were
more?
born to do good.
Wow.
I believe that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
we were born
course.
to be good people,
Sense
of course.
survival.
Of course.
But as human beings, we love drama. The gruesome horror story. We are titillated when we are shocked by that graphic picture and surprised by that violent video.
We can't have an accident on the road, you know, everybody had to stop to
Yeah.
look.
So
We
true.
could macko.
That's true. We are attracted to that type of news. That's just the way it is. To become the #1 radio, TV, and newspaper, you have to give the public what they want, and most importantly, well, to them, what will sell.
The public needs to demand better.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's
The
right.
fact is, we are only attracted to bad news. Well, some of us.
Yeah.
So bad news gets the front page, the biggest headlines, the most airtime, and that leaves us surrounded with only news of hate, killing, and gore.
Yeah. And I mean, with all that negative news around us, it may seem that there's no hope and there's no love, no compassion anywhere in this country. We have 40-something media companies
Wow.
fighting to give us all these bad news
Terrible,
first,
man. Come on.
all day, every day. I mean, the stories of hope and bravery, hard work, love, community building, gratitude, and triumph are all lost, like I was talking about, because that is not what will get us to buy a paper or listen to the radio or turn on the TV. You know, talk about mass murder, and the entire country is locked on for more.
Right, and with Facebook and social media now,
It's not
it's
not
worse.
helping.
It's just
Well,
gotten worse.
what we need to do, we need to be the ones spreading the good news.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so that's what we have to
Actually,
do.
there is a Facebook group,
That
Good
is
News.
Good news.
Yeah.
Like
that.
shelter to
They don't have much
Yeah.
to talk about though.
Yeah. We have polluted our airwaves and minds with so much bad news. There's a general sense of fear, heaviness, and hopelessness.
Yes, we numb, we become numb.
Imagine you're a young man or woman from a deprived community and no one wants to give you a job or a chance. I mean, crime might seem like the best solution for him or
Wow.
her to get out of this
Wow.
life.
Poverty cannot be a reason for someone to want to take what is not theirs or justify hurting another person. Because I know many poor people who work hard for what they want and have survived and in years to come thrive into having their own homes and providing for their families.
This poor person.
It's a different time.
I am one of those.
A different time.
Struggle. I mean, I used to mop drop on the highway to get what I wanted. And then when I couldn't mop drop anymore because it was unsafe, I went and sell Polori and fudge in the hospital.
You could
I
make
do what
Polori
I,
pennies.
yes.
Right.
Anyway, I feel we have also let down our young men. You know? They were born, some of them were born into families, to mothers and fathers who were not ready to be parents. I mean, I wasn't ready, but thank God for my mother, as I said before. I mean, the kind of discipline a young man may need, his single mother may not be able to provide. Most mothers who have to raise their kids and provide for their kids don't have the time nowadays to nurture the straying mind of a young boy or girl. So many times that young person will find friendship with the predators out there that will take him or her down the wrong path.
Yes.
So true, you know. We need so much help for our young men and women,
Yeah.
struggling families before it is too late. I mean, we need to identify them and we need to give them that support. We know that will strengthen them and, of course, make their lives better. And, of course, we know the churches, you know, there's a lot of work
Yeah.
with families and that help. And there are also government programs that tasked with doing this. And, well, to be honest, some have failed our young men and the families.
Yep.
And we need to find ways to get these programs effective and operating again with one goal, offering and providing effective support.
I say we need some boot camps in this country. We
Yes.
need boot camp.
I agree.
We need it is critical.
We need to bring
It is
discipline
most
back into
critical
society, yes.
that also that we identify the high risk families out there. We must identify them and neighbors and the family know who they are.
Yeah.
get in there early to help them with the
Yeah.
challenges of life.
And we say we're our brother's keeper.
Yes, of
so
course.
we need to get back to that mentality.
Exactly,
where-
and everybody in the neighborhood could raise the child, you know.
Village.
That whole say, you know.
You know,
Take the
and to say
community
that,
to raise
there was this program called the Brother Sister program. You know, Big Brother Big Sister.
Yes,
We
yes,
should
yes.
bring back
God,
more
what it was
programs
saying.
like that.
We,
Back
we,
to
we
that and
need
help each
we
other.
need these kind of things so
Yes.
we could develop better parenting skills too. You know, we could help parents because I mean, if
do
a young
workshops.
parent don't know about what to do, send them to the cadets.
But
you know.
even Serval had programs where they were going into the communities and helping young
Yeah.
parents.
Yes.
I don't know if they still do it. If you
Yeah.
have problem coping.
In France, there's a program when a child is born that they send a representative to the home to stay with the mother to help her take care of the child. So I think I'm not sure, it might be a year or so. I mean, I was thinking if we could just what you just said is very similar.
Yeah.
I think we don't even have the documented births in our country,
Right.
and I think it needs to start from the
Of course.
hospitals. A lot of children don't even have a birth paper; they're not even registered,
Yeah.
and I think that's
we
a
really
problem.
have to hone into these young parents out there and teach them parenting skills.
Yeah.
You know, so their child, they could place their child in a good place where they could grow and learn.
Yeah.
I mean, if we neglect these families who are struggling to make ends meet or to survive as a unit, we will find our country littered with children who grow up to be criminals.
We will.
The level of crime we are seeing in Trinidad and Tobago, let's face it, seems to stem for a lack of us really looking out for each other. If we know a family that is struggling, we need to see if we can buy them some groceries and drop it off. Maybe, come on people, we could help one person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We can do it.
We could do that. See if the young man who might be going astray, try to get him into sports, video production, music production,
Acting,
a trade.
dancing,
Come on, something.
singing,
Let's
rap-
make him a
rap
trainee.
so-
Who knows? He could be the next Marshall, right?
Yes.
Have internships so our young men can find hope and people who are interested in his growth. Give him something to do, and that can change his direction, not only for him, but for our country.
I mean, a lot of people are afraid to help too.
Too, yes.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is the
because
thing,
I
yeah.
just imagine somebody
You
trying
know.
to help somebody like that. I just want to give us some money. That person, you know, afraid what they will come back and do.
You know,
You
when
know?
I started recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, the past 2 years, I got involved with an organization. What they do is they reach out to youths and you go ahead and you actually do community service. You actually go into schools, we feed the homeless, involve these youths in, you know, activities that
Giving back.
not giving back
And caring.
allowing so they could actually get some compassion within them that they might be lacking
course,
from at
of
home.
course.
And plus what I've realized, everyone becomes friends.
Yes.
So they get a
I know
good,
what-
nice,
Where they
strong
belong,
unit
where
of
they
people.
belong, and-
Exactly.
yeah.
What
But
is-
you also
sense
keep
of
them
belonging.
busy. You keep them busy.
And
Instead of
constructive,
just
yes.
partying and that's all
That's
they
right,
know.
something positive.
Yeah, so
Yes.
they're actually in action.
We
doing
must also
something.
prepare people, ladies, to give people second chances in this country.
Yes.
Yeah.
No
Give
judgment.
people second chances
judgment.
because a troubled young man may not be able to be the easiest person to get along
Right,
with.
but-
You know, give him a chance. Schools need to teach kids about gratitude.
Yes.
I teach my children manners is extremely important.
Exactly.
When you go in a room, say good morning. Doesn't matter if the rest of the room say nothing.
Definitely.
You say good morning.
That's right.
We have to teach our children about gratitude, being grateful for what we have. I mean, I had to give a speech to a group I work with in Tobago, Yahweh Foundation, about being grateful. I mean, they're getting so much, and I'm not sure if the children understand what they're getting.
Exactly.
I mean, I had to tell them, we don't have anything like this in Trinidad. Just be grateful.
Yeah.
You know, people have to learn to be more appreciative of all the great things that are surround us.
Exactly.
They can set goals, take odd jobs, do anything. Friends for the family, do a little thing for your friend,
Yes,
for the family,
exactly.
earn a little extra dollar.
Wash
you know,
your car.
get things in it,
Yeah,
do
come
things.
on.
The things now they sell a
How
little
much money
orange.
we give,
Something, yes.
give away a day by somebody washing your car by the traffic light? The man who's doing the drawing by that other light,
Yes.
I have to buy one. We each try to do it,
Yes,
No,
right?
yeah.
I mean, people are so busy. You know, if someone young boys get together and they want to do a car washing service,
Yeah.
but obviously they have to do it well and they have to be polite.
Yes.
Hi, morning, ma'am.
Yeah.
Let's have your car washed and do a proper job.
Yeah.
We
But
need-
people are so mistrusting now.
Yeah,
We don't know who
yes.
to trust. I mean, I would love to hold and hug them all up and say, "Come, let me help you," but I'm afraid.
make it
I make
I
glory.
mean, we really need need to look out for each other.
Yeah.
So that there are not so many people living in desperation, and we really need to see how we can all help and support.
Yes.
I mean, this does not have to be a big national campaign. We are asking it to be a personal campaign. Just look around you. See the person next to you and see what little support you can extend to them to make their life a little better. Even maybe a smile, how you going today, to the lady in the grocery.
You know what? Just be kind.
Kind.
How difficult is
Simple
it to
answer
be
to
kind?
Yeah, and we could even look at it from the workplace. I mean, if you're their boss, give them some time off so that maybe they're able to pick up their kids and from school and buy a little pizza.
Do something different. Yes.
So everybody have to be nice bosses too.
Let's try. I mean, we're not going to be successful every day, but at least try. I mean, God is
You
okay.
can make a difference in someone's day by just smiling at them. You don't know what people, I mean, sometimes we go to work and we're so frustrated and you might be dealing with something. But you know what? Be kind. Because there's somebody out there that's going through something.
And besides being kind, being hungry, you can buy somebody's groceries, or if you don't want to give them money, I often buy a bread.
Yes.
And I get vexed when they ask me for a sweet drink.
Well,
Sweet
that's
drink not
being
good for you.
kind.
I'll buy you a bread and a water.
Yes.
There are all kind of different things that you could do.
Lots of kindness.
Yeah.
Teaching 3 or more boys a skill that you may have.
Yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Yes, I want to teach acting. I teach acting. I want to teach them to empower young ladies. I do all that. I mean, I don't get extra money for that. But I want the charges that I have in Newtown girls, they must come out there empowered women, focused women, concentrate,
More female presidents.
Yes.
And if they can cook and bake, make cookies and all
Yes.
that,
They can
teach
make a
them to be
living.
entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
You know, we need to teach that in schools.
Entrepreneurship.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
Teach lots
That's
of
what it's
people.
all about. I mean,
Self-sufficient.
and then sustainable. Sustaining yourself.
And you know what?
Exactly.
All of us here, I know social media is the thing right now. Post something good for what post something good going on in your life,
Positive.
a positive message,
Yeah.
because you
Of
can
course.
use your power and your influence to encourage somebody
Of
else
course.
to be a
There
better
are
person.
many ways in which we can be kind and more
Yes.
supportive.
Yeah.
Just do something for one person. You must remember that the major power of giving is when we give and want nothing in return. Let giving to others be its own gift to you.
Yes. There's a lot of
Give
people
freely,
when you
receive.
have when they're giving, you have to have a camera there. You have to have a thing.
Advertise it.
Just give. It's all right.
Make it part of
God
your
is
daily
watching. That's
Yes.
the only important camera you need. That's the only audience you need.
I agree.
God, our spirituality people. All this we talk here, get in touch with your spirituality. Whatever religion, find your God. Much more when we return.
Welcome back, everyone. You're viewing Sisterhood, your weekly magazine show. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube. We're so glad you stayed with us.
Besides taking care of our relationships, let's take care of ourselves. Next, we have the week's fashion, beauty, and personal wellness segment.
Self-centered.
Thank you, ladies. Well, today we are self-centered at the Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain, where I thought it is the perfect place to come to remind you that you must carve out time for yourself, time to be alone, time to decide on what you want for your life. Exercise is also a big part of staying self-centered and developing a habit to take care of you. So today we have 3 simple exercises that you can use to keep your heart rate up, to strengthen your legs, and to, of course, firm that core. So let's get it started. Firstly, let's try to get your heart rate up. You could do a light jog on the spot like this. You could go as fast as you want. You can lift your legs as high as you want as well. Go on for at least 5 minutes or as long as you can. Try it, tell me how you feel, and it's a ritual you can actually keep up every morning before you take your shower, before you go to work. That's one. Second one is for your legs. So we're going to get into a squat position, and this is a squat, so you get as low as possible. So you go and you stretch, and you stretch. So you go as low as possible, You keep your feet flat and of course try not to get your heel off of the floor. I had some trouble at one point in time. You could get a mat or a brick, something that could keep you elevated until you get used to the regime. So it's down and breathe, and down and breathe, and down and breathe. A lot of the people I know have issues with the core area. This is something to get you to your fabulous self. I know a lot of you have issues with the tummy area, but have no fear. Practice takes time, and of course, eat right. It starts in the kitchen as well, so let's go. Right, and it's all about touch and touch. If this seems too hard for you to do, you can keep it very simple. Right here. Ensure your back is straight when you get up. If you want to get a little more out of your routine, you could get a little extra. Ensure that you breathe. So there you have it, 3 exercises that you could use to develop the habit of taking care of you. Great surroundings, good workout, and time to remember to be grateful for all you have. Practicing gratitude develops peace of mind, brings you joy, and keeps you positive. So that's it for this week's edition of Self-Centered in the Sisterhood. I am Athalia Samuel. See you next time. Back to you, lovely ladies in the studio. Bye.
As women, we must know that we can learn from each other's experiences and gain strength from that knowledge.
Yep.
So in an effort to encourage sharing, we move into our next segment called A Word from the Wise.
Hi, I am Aloma Rampasad. I grew up in Tacarigua, went to St. Mary's AC School, then went to Tacarigua Presbyterian. From there, after common entrance, went to Tunapuna Government Secondary. A little bit about me in primary school. I was the bajan with my mouth. Don't tell me nothing, I'm ready to cuss here. And in class, I was the only person who every day the teacher had to say, Aloma, take that chewing gum out your mouth. I'll stick it on your forehead. Oh, and in secondary school, I thought I was a cricketer. That didn't work out. So I joined the library and I love to read. I'm still a member of the library since that time to now. I still love to read. I still love to chew chewing gum. But after graduation from Tunapuna Secondary, I got married and was home for a while being a mom for my first son. Then I started to work 10 days URP, which was great in a way, just the sun, being in the sun all day, but we had nice times there with the gangs, working all through Tacarigua. From there, I went on to work Tunapuna Piaco Regional Corporation, which we call county, and had some real good times there with my boss, Mr. Rashid, who is the best boss in the world. And from there, I retired and came home. And home now, reading a lot, trying not to let the neighbors irritate me too much so my mouth don't start to act up again. And enjoying time with my companion, plus my sons and my few good friends. I love pan. I support Supernova's pan side all the way 100%. I just love pan. I've been traveling all over the country with Supernova's the pan in the countryside, been all over Trinidad and Tobago, Rio Claro, Blanche, Shares, Mayaro, Port of Spain, you name it. Looking back, one of the major events in my life was when my husband passed away in 2002, which was not a very good time. And another major event is when I made the rainbow corned beef ad on television. Everyone got to know me, love me, and up to this, they still hail me out. Hi, rainbow corned beef, how are you? You could say, please. The biggest lesson I think I learned is always do your best and do good. Regardless of obstacles or objections in your way, just continue being you and doing the best you can. One of the biggest challenges I had to overcome was losing belly fat. But now, my biggest challenge is dealing with having alopecia and knowing one day soon I'll be bald. I found support though with a group called Bald Beauty, where we meet every 2 months and discuss our problems and how we could help each other, how we could see that hair grow back and all of that. And it's great seeing that I am not the only person suffering with this. There are plenty of us in Trinidad and Tobago, but a lot of people don't know what alopecia is and how to deal with it. What I would love to see for Trinidad and Tobago is a crime-free country, sick children getting helped, and where every creed and race would find an equal place and be united as one. Bring back the old time days. Oh, what I always wish was to travel all over the world. I especially wanted to see Rome, but sadly, I have a great fear for planes, so I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Most grateful for waking up every morning to see a new day. Grateful for my sons, my grandsons, my few good friends, my companion, and life, health, and strength. Hear me in, please.
A word from the wise, very heartfelt. Thank you. Thank you. Well, ladies, that leads us to our word of the week. What is the one word you want to take into next week that will focus you, that will motivate you and keep you grounded?
My word is, well, it's more than a word, it's a phrase. Be the light. I got that from our president,
Excellency.
May Weeks,
Yes. Agree.
as she spoke about that you can be the light in your home, in your community, in your workplace to make the change.
Yes.
Just, you
Don't
be the
let
light.
anybody take away your
The
light
light,
too.
yes. We have to be the light.
Yes.
Okay, people, my word of the week is family. Because you know what? It starts at home. Sometimes we place so much judgment on what the neighbor doing, what's going on down the road, what on news this week. Focus what's actually going on in your own household. Actually give your family some love. Come on. You know, today, go home, give a compliment to your wife.
Yes.
She cooks something, say thank you once in a while. And you know
Wow,
what?
really?
Yeah, you know you could do that, right? And who knows? Maybe that will actually allow everyone to just have a better attitude and a better outlook about life.
Lovely.
Diane?
Okay, so I'm taking the word solutions into my next week, and in fact, that's a word that I use all the time because I believe there's nothing too difficult to solve. Okay?
Yeah.
So problems will no longer be a problem if you have a solution.
I
If you
totally
look at
agree
the
with that.
solution.
And
Exactly.
find
Not
creative
just
ways
Exactly.
to deal with solutions.
Because a lot of times we focus on the problem, and what we do is when we focus on that problem, we actually expand it. So what you do is you transfer the energy into a solution to that problem.
Yeah.
And so I actually teach my staff this all the time. I say, don't come to me, tell me a problem. You just come and say, Miss Diane, I found a solution to the problem.
Right. It's called say solution first.
And you can apply that to your life.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
that's what I'm taking.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you.
My word is womankind.
Womankind.
Just respect it.
Okay.
Yes.
Respect.
I think I would just want to relate it to everything that we spoke about today in terms of community. You know, we need to get back to that spirit of community. Let's be our brother's keeper. Let's work together to, as Diane said, find solutions and not just identify problems. Yeah.
My word, I think, for today is bacchanal and drama. I want to stay away from it next week.
Hello.
I think in this country we try to talk about the pettiness and all the dramas and the small talk. We like that kind of bacchanal. So my thing is about staying away from drama and bacchanal this week. Next week, I am going to be positive and focus on me and my solutions and my light and my family and my sisterhood. Yes. All those community. I want to focus on that. You see drama? None of it. Word of the week.
I just want to thank everyone for viewing and to extend this special invitation to you to join the Sisterhood. It is totally free. We want you to be part of this movement.
The intention is for us to form a large, powerful group of ladies who will come together in the Sisterhood to communicate, collaborate, and celebrate each other.
Yes, it's very easy to join. Just log on to the sisterhoodtt.com and click join the Sisterhood and go to the Sisterhood Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago page on Facebook and you will find the Join the Sisterhood form.
Yes.
We want this to be more than just a weekly television show, but a movement that can make the lives of women, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, but the Caribbean, the whole region. We want to be better by coming together to communicate, collaborate, and celebrate our greatness as Caribbean women in this world.
Yes.
I want to thank all those who tuned in today. We will be back next week, same place, same time. Remember, we also want you to get your Sisterhood bracelet. It is a 7 chakra and lava stone diffuser bracelet. That means you can add your fragrance to the lava stones. And the 7 chakra semi-precious gemstones are said to have healing power. Yes, you can get it for a contribution of just $100. And they come in a lovely little gold pouch. We are all wearing ours, right, ladies? And we want you to get yours today.
We also want you to look out for our live Sisterhood Empowerment events coming up soon.
We are all really excited that the Sisterhood is here, and in the next few weeks we have so many great topics to share with you, and we hope you'll be able to learn something from this experience.
That's it for this week's episode. Join us next week for much more. Bye for now. And as we always say, let's take care of each other, TNT. Yes.